Добрый день, уважаемые слушатели, зрители нашего сегодняшнего мини-семинара. В первую очередь хотел бы поблагодарить вас за то, что вы нам дали возможность записать этот видеоматериал. У нас сегодня в аудитории с вами присутствуют PhD-студенты первого курса, которые с радостью согласились принять участие в нашем мини-скетче. Меня зовут Айжан Тимирбаева, я PhD-студент второго курса Высшей школы образования Назарбаев университета. Сегодня мы будем вести предмет биологию, и преподавателем данного курса будет являться инструктор Высшей школы образования Дебора Браун.
Good morning, students, and welcome to another riveting biology class. You have been doing so well with your unit on, what is this again? Yes, we've been studying plants in our unit, and you have so much language now, and it's wonderful to see that you're so keen. The first thing I want you to do is stand up, please. And I want you to take a big breath in. And out. One more time, in and out. Thank you. Keep standing. When you breathe in, what are you breathing from the air around us? Oxygen. Good. Oh, oxygen. Yes, O2 oxygen. And when you breathe out, what are you breathing?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. Who knows the equation for carbon dioxide?
CO2.
Bravo, you're really doing well. While you're on your feet, and be careful you don't hurt yourself on the chairs, I'd like to review some of the words that we've been working on in our plant unit. So you're going to work together as a team. It is not a competition. I'm going to give you a word, and I would like one of you in the group to find the picture, and I'd like another person in your group to find the word and hold them up high. All right? You have to listen carefully because I may have plurals or singular words as well. Are you ready? Yes. Here we go. Water. And hold them up high. Good. Excellent. Stas, what is that?
It is a water.
Excellent. And Gulfia, how do you spell water?
W-A-T-E-R.
Very good, yes. Okay, next one. Seeds. Seeds.
Someone took the seeds.
No. You have it.
Very good. Seeds. And where do we normally find seeds?
In vegetables, fruits.
Yes, in fruit and in vegetables. Excellent. Sometimes there's many seeds, sometimes there's only one. Thank you. You can put that one down. Next one. Cycle. Cycle. Excellent. Does that mean it's a bicycle? A bicycle? What's a cycle? Tell me what a cycle is.
It's a process.
It's a process. Good. And we start with a seed and we go to a fully developed, beautiful plant. Very good. Myra, without looking, spell cycle for me.
C-Y-C-L-E.
You got it. Excellent. All right. Next one. Leaves. Leaves. And you did not fall into the trap. Very good. Is leaves singular or plural here? It is definitely plural. Excellent. Okay. Put that down. Roots. 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 Good. Yes, you've got both. Wonderful. Roots. You can put that one down now. And it depends which picture you're going to choose for this. How about soil? Soil. All right. Good, good. And which part of the plant Grows in soil. You've got it. Bravo. Excellent. Let's go to the next one. Fruit. 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 Good, good. Asiel, without looking, spell fruit.
F-R-U-I-T.
That's a bit of a difficult one. Well done. Excellent. Next one, let's have flower. And I did that on purpose to see if you could find it or not. So, what does yours say, Asiel?
Flowers.
Flowers. Do you have a picture with flowers? Yeah. Good. But Alton, you heard flower as one. Well done. Yes. And did you? You got it too. Stas and Myra. Very good. Okay, next one. Let's go really quickly now. Sunlight. Sunlight. Right. And what two little words do you see in sunlight?
Sun.
Sun and light.
Excellent. Yes. Now, let's see. Peter, you've been awfully quiet. Can you spell sunlight without looking?
Oh, gosh. S-U-N-L-I-G-H-T.
Good job. Good job. And that's just about it, I think. All right. What I'd like you to do now is sit down. And with a partner, you can do it in a group of 3, or you can do it in a group of 4 or 2. Would you take your sheet and see if you can fill in all the items there? If you need the spelling, the words are there. See what you can do without looking at the words first. And I won't, of course, have you do this for 10 minutes. Feel free to talk with your partner and with your group. You found the missing one. How about this group? Did you find the one that's missing for the word?
Yes.
What was it? Good. How do you spell stem?
S-T-E-M.
You've got it. Your writing is very neat and tidy too. It's easy to read.
Okay, we can make it bold.
You can, yes. If that helps you remember, that's wonderful.
But it can be so long.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's stop there. And it looks like you have all of that really well. I'd like to try something a little bit more difficult now. As you can see on the back table, we have a number of sentences, but they're broken up. They're the beginning of the sentence, and then you need to find the end of the sentence. Now, I know you haven't been studying this plants unit for all that long, so you don't have to do this by yourself. As a group, with a partner or a small group, take a walk around all of those parts and read them first, and then see if you can put them together. Away you go.
And we have the stem connect. Please help plants.
What about this one?
Yeah, done with things.
You're done. Let's take a look. It looks perfect. My goodness, you're good readers. Can I have a volunteer read this sentence for me, please?
Each fruit has at least one seed.
Excellent. Gofia, would you read this one, please?
The stem connects the roots to the leaves.
Well done. Myra, could you read this one, please?
Plants need water, light, and air.
And well done there. Peter, this one?
Leaves help plants make their own food.
Excellent. And your pronunciation's really good, too. Gunara?
The flowers on a plant become fruit.
Good. Asiel?
The seeds can become new plants.
Excellent. Alton?
The roots of a plant grow in the soil.
Very well done. I am impressed with you. All right, take a seat for a moment. At this point, we're going to debrief so that our audience can know why we did what we did, and perhaps they'll pause the video and have a discussion among themselves as to other strategies that they may be able to try in their classrooms too. That's the whole point of this segment here.
Как вы уже и догадались, наши PhD-студенты на данный момент выступали в качестве учеников школы, и Дебора Браун являлась преподавателем биологии. И в самом начале этого занятия она провела так называемое взбодрящее упражнение, которое предполагало, что студенты должны были встать со своих мест, посмотреть, у них на столе были расположены несколько картинок, связанные с растением, то есть это разные части растения, включая лист, стебель, корень и так далее. Они должны были найти картинку и найти подходящее слово для него на английском языке. При этом задание было не только понять, какой компонент означает что, а также произнести его по буквам, то есть сказать, как пишется это слово, а также понять его значение. Далее группе было дано задание пройтись к столу, который был напротив. Вы видите, да, что они были физически вовлечены, они ходили по классу, ходили и обсуждали, что предполагало их физическое воздействие. Они должны были собрать предложение, состав которого был разбросан по столу, и их заданием было, во-первых, найти составные части предложения, прочитать его и перевести.
Our esteemed teachers in the audience, you would recognize that segment right away as a review of English vocabulary to do with the plant unit that we're studying. And you will also recognize that it was also checking the students' content knowledge of the topic. And you saw right away, this group of students is very comfortable with each other, and they've been with each other for quite some time now. So they're happy to work as a group or in pairs and mix with each other without hesitation. First of all, you saw that they were working in pairs or groups, and that lessens the stress factor for any students who may feel shy or who may take a little longer to remember the vocabulary that they have been studying. So many brains make quick work, and so the students were actually able to chat among themselves, review the words. They were helping each other pick up the picture, pick up the word. That was a non-threatening situation for the students to review. You may have noticed that my questioning during that activity varied from easy questions to more challenging questions. For example, some of the harder words, I asked students to spell them to see if they could get that spelling correct. Some of the questions were more probing because I know in this group that some have a little bit more content knowledge than others, so I wanted to keep them engaged, and they were the ones that answered right away. So I was very conscious to think of the level of questions to suit every member of the group. And I suppose that's what I'm saying here is it's very important to be very familiar with your students' needs and with their strengths and make sure you build on that. We went to a more difficult, and this activity was like a consolidation of the review. They had been working together, then they sat down while they were fresh in their minds and they filled in their charts, and this would go in their portfolio. Again, they didn't have to know this off by heart, they didn't have to know the spelling. You saw that they were chatting with each other and so on. Do you need some time? Okay.
Как мы видели, наши ученики, они работали в группе. Это с точки зрения методологии является очень эффективным способом подачи информации. Задача заключалась в том, что студенты могли, школьники, да, точнее, могли не знать слов, потому что это для них новые слова, и они пришли из науки. Здесь главной их поддержкой были их согруппники, которые находились вместе с ними в группе. То есть у них была возможность поговорить друг с другом, спросить подсказку. Таким образом, они вместе находили правильный ответ. Что касается индивидуальной работы, то мы видели, что благодаря групповой работе, благодаря тому, что школьники имели возможность друг с другом переговаривать, они в какой-то момент запомнили некоторые слова и смогли индивидуально уже заполнить листовки, где заданием было как раз-таки указать, что это было за слово, и написать его точное написание. Школьники, как мы видим, с этим справились, что говорит о том, что групповая работа, она очень эффективна при таких методах. Во-вторых, нужно учесть момент, что какие вопросы задавал преподаватель во время ведения урока. Стоит отметить, что немаловажным фактором было то, что преподаватель начинал с более легких вопросов, попросив студентов, школьников просто найти слово, найти картинку. А затем это задание, оно превращалось в более сложное, где нужно было уже построить предложение, использовать эти слова в предложении и прочитать его. То есть в данном случае преподаватель должен быть уверен, насколько уровень языка, каким уровнем языка владеет каждый школьник. То есть если школьник знает английский на базовом уровне, соответственно, задания для него должны быть выдержаны в рамках его уровня английского. Соответственно, для тех студентов и школьников, у которых уровень английского более высокий, соответственно, для них задания, они являются более сложными. То есть при методологии, при постройке методологии преподавания данного урока нужно учитывать, что не все школьники у вас будут обладать одинаковым уровнем языка.
The next activity for review was more complex and more challenging. Students may still be at the point that they're finding sentence formation on their own difficult because this vocabulary is new, the whole unit is new. Do you want to say that? Should I break it down a little bit?
Okay, so you're explaining that
this is more complex. Because we're dealing now with sentences rather than single words.
I have already mentioned it.
Okay. Because there are different levels of ability in the classroom when it comes to language, there were two things that I did here. For students that are still finding formation of sentences very challenging, you will notice I gave, in some cases, a clue. I did it like a jigsaw puzzle piece. That was to make sure that every student could feel a part of this activity, whether they really understood the whole sentence or not. Definitely they would have recognized individual words, such as seeds, such as plants. And of course, it's very important to encourage them, so that's why I did this activity. For the students in the class who are at a little bit higher level of sentence formation, I simply cut the sentence. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that every student understood this sentence because they could put it together like a puzzle, but it exposes students to see what the structure is like in English, how a sentence starts, how it finishes, and they could recognize also individual words. But of course, many students in this class were able to put the sentence together with no difficulty at all.
Во второй части упражнения, где школьникам далось задание соединить составляющие одного предложения, у преподавателя была такая фишка, что даже это задание она пыталась разделить на уровни сложности. То есть, если мы с вами видим данное предложение, да, то мы можем видеть, что преподаватель уже наглядно дал подсказку школьникам, что можно соединить составляющие, просто глядя на узор. То есть, если вы составили предложение правильно, пазл должен сойтись, да? То есть, это говорит о том, что предложение составлено верно. Это задание в основном, конечно, является ориентиром для тех, у кого язык он является пока на базовом уровне. Ну а для тех, у кого уровень английского повыше, преподаватель не оставил никаких подсказок. То есть мы видим, что по сравнению с предыдущим примером, здесь у нас нет никаких подсказок, то есть пазл можно собрать и неправильно в данном случае. Поэтому нужно учитывать, что опять-таки, что у школьников у вас будет разный уровень английского языка, и, соответственно, задание нужно подбирать по уровню сложности.
Since we are all learners in any classroom at any time, it's very important at certain points in the class to get feedback from the students, to find out what they enjoyed about the review activities, if they felt that they were challenged enough or whatever. Now the complexity there is, how do you get students to express themselves and the activities in the English language when there's different levels? This is a time when I actually would say to students, turn to your partner and talk about what you liked in that last activity in your native tongue, because they need to be able to express that. And there may be somebody in the classroom, yourself, for starters, who will be able to gather the feedback and collate that so that you know for the next set of activities what kinds of things the students really enjoy, what they found challenging, what they found maybe too easy and not challenging enough.
Немаловажным аспектом в преподавании является получение обратной связи от школьников. То есть задача преподавателя выяснить, насколько его упражнение, насколько его методика была эффективна для школьников. Таким образом, у школьников сейчас им можно дать задание, чтобы они поговорили в парах о том, что им больше всего понравилось и что не понравилось на данном уроке. И причем разрешается это делать на языке, удобном для них. То есть это может быть и русский язык, и казахский язык, и даже английский, если кому-то так удобно. А затем представитель группы, у которого язык более на высоком уровне, ему предоставится возможность рассказать мнение своих согруппников на английском языке.
And that's the end of the review segment. We're going to move on with the new lesson today, but only do it in certain parts because we're very conscious of time.
Задачей первой части урока было все-таки вспомнить прошлый урок, вспомнить словарные слова, которые они выучили по этой тематике. И сейчас, после того, как школьники успешно справились с тем, что вспомнили и покрыли старую тему, сейчас они переходят на новую.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look at an amazing process. You might have heard of it before. The name of this process is photosynthesis. Raise your hand if you have heard photosynthesis before. Wonderful. I think you are very smart science students. Photosynthesis, that word photo, you may know photo from something else. Where have you heard photo before? Photo. Taking pictures. And when we take pictures, either with a camera or a device or a video camera, what are we letting in so that we can see images? Light. Photo means light. Do you know what language photo comes from?
Latin.
Very good. Now, synthesis. Do you know what the word, do you want to guess what the word synthesis means? So it's something to do with light, and then synthesis, you want to take a guess?
Mixture of some substances. It's like, as a process, reactions happen there.
Okay, a mixture of reactions in a process.
I think it's about production, when you're creating something.
Okay, good. These are very good guesses. Well, photosynthesis, light plus putting together, is the process that you already know a little bit about because you know that plants can make their own food. But it's only a certain color plant. What color does a plant have to be to make its own food?
Green.
Wonderful. All green plants can do photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Going back to the air that we breathe, when people breathe in, we breathe what again?
Oxygen.
Oxygen. And when we breathe out, we breathe out
Carbon dioxide.
well, you know, plants are our friends. Plants are the opposite to us. They love breathing in carbon dioxide, and they love breathing out oxygen. So if I went like this, the plant says, oh, good, good, I can now make some food. I need a few more things, but I can make my own food. Thank you, do that again. And we're going to find out what that process is. And this is when I'm going to put on a video here.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we breathe out the carbon dioxide at night or during the daytime?
Human beings or?
Flowers, plants, they bring
When there's like
they breathe in oxygen during daytime.
Yes.
They breathe out carbon dioxide during nighttime.
Yeah. No, they take in carbon, they breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. So even when we are sleeping, when we have carbon dioxide coming out, your plant in the kitchen says, yes, I'm going to cook. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, we're going to debrief at this point why I chose this as the introductory video for this lesson. Yes, it is made for kids, but as you know, everything that's made for kids is always explained in a way that is crystal clear. So it was interesting to see that there was hardly any talking. So students in the group did not have to worry about that. What am I missing? However, students could still recognize some of the words that they knew when we were doing review. But the information was complex enough that even if some members of the class already are familiar with photosynthesis, for sure there was a new step or new words that they would have learned. And so it would have appeal to, again, a wide range of levels of proficiency and content. So just to do an example now, I'm going to ask this group, I would never expect on one showing in a new lesson for them to know the whole process. But I would ask the question, what did you learn? One thing, what did you learn from that video?
The process of photosynthesis.
Okay, so it's about the process of photosynthesis.
That they produce glucose.
Ah, glucose is a new word for us, yes. Have you heard the word glucose before?
I've heard it, but I didn't know that the plant makes it for the...
Yes, yes. And glucose is what supports the plant, gives it nourishment, gives it food, keeps it going. Glucose. There's another word for glucose that we use every day in our tea, in our coffee. Sugar, yes, sugar. What else did you learn from the video?
One more word, somata.
Somata. Did you hear what stomata was?
I think it's pores in the leaves
Yes.
that absorb the carbon dioxide.
Right, you are. So if you were to look at a leaf under a microscope, we couldn't see it with our bare eye, you would see the stomata, and it's almost like little mouths getting ready to eat the carbon dioxide. Good, good noticing. Anything else that stood out for you? Okay.
Well, now we know why we have starches in the plants. They're created by the glucose storage in the stem.
Excellent, excellent. You've learned something new today, I think.
I also noticed that the importance of sunlight in this process. That we have first water with carbon dioxide, and then we have the sunlight and this reaction happens.
Yes, so for photosynthesis to happen, we must have sunlight. Did you notice another ingredient? We have sunlight and carbon dioxide and the chlorophyll is very, very important in the process in terms of, we'll be looking at a little bit later. Okay, so that's finding out what the students know already, and they certainly learned a lot. One of the things that's really interesting, one of our students here looked over and saw our word wall. Now, this word wall is very important to have in your classroom, because for students who are learning a subject in English, they need to have a print-rich environment. So I would have put this word wall up probably at the very beginning of the plant unit, and I would just have the students look at the words, look at the pictures, and little by little get used to them, even though we wouldn't talk about it. They already know oxygen, they already know carbon dioxide. Some of them know that these two are gases. But the process of photosynthesis is just to expose them, to get them curious, to come and look at the pictures.
Мы видели, что школьникам была предоставлена возможность посмотреть видео про фотосинтез. И задача преподавателя была здесь подобрать такое видео, чтобы оно было понятно для всех школьников с разным уровнем английского языка. То есть, как мы заметили, на видео было очень мало слов, но были надписи, да, в которых школьники с разным уровнем английского языка могли увидеть уже знакомые слова, увидеть новые слова и попытаться понять, как вообще процесс фотосинтеза происходит. То есть информация была визуализирована. Это для тех, в основном школьников, у которых больше развита визуальная память. Далее преподаватель спросил, после того, как все просмотрели видео, спросил школьников, что нового они узнали о фотосинтезе. И задача преподавателя была не только прояснить сам процесс фотосинтеза, но и выявить новые словарные слова. И, как выяснилось, школьники узнали очень много слов, несмотря на то, что кто-то из них уже владеет хорошим английским, а у кого-то английский на базовом уровне. Затем преподаватель перешел на следующую методологию, которая называется «Словесная стена». Она предполагает, что до начала занятий преподаватель должен будет повесить слова на стену. И в основном это незнакомые слова, новые слова для школьников, чтобы школьники могли ознакомиться с ними и привыкнуть, то есть визуализировать слова, понять по картинкам, что они означают, и начинать привыкать к ним и таким образом заучивать их. Это рекомендация преподавателя, особенно когда для школьников английский язык он является иностранным, и так слова запоминаются лучше.
So in the interest of time, I would at best, the next time we had a science class, perhaps look at this picture and ask the students, this is photosynthesis in action. What do you remember from the video? Now, I probably would have also given them the video link so they could watch it again in their own time. But we would have the very simple process of the carbon dioxide being taken in and oxygen going out and the water, the sunlight, and so on. It would be a very basic review of photosynthesis the next time. I wouldn't have even touched these words yet. So a few lessons later on, I would show the next video, and I'll just quickly show you so you can see the difference, but we won't watch the whole thing because we're running out of time. The one thing I forgot to mention too, Aijan, that you might tell our audience is in these videos there's a lot of music, because music helps all of us, whether we're children or adults, remember concepts.
Следует также отметить немаловажность сопровождения видео аудио. То есть мы слышали, что во время презентации самого видео звучала музыка. И это неспроста так, это была методология преподавателя самого для того, чтобы помочь школьникам лучше запоминать концепты. То есть исследования показывают, что музыка как раз-таки помогает школьнику лучше усваивать новые словарные слова.
Many things. Plants get their raw material for photosynthesis from the soil, the air, and the sun. Oh look, it started raining. When it rains, water gets absorbed into the soil. The plants take in the water from the soil through its roots. In the roots, there are tubes, which are called the xylem and the phloem. The xylem lies towards the interior part of the root, whereas the phloem lies towards the exterior part of the root. These tubes help in bringing water and minerals from the soil to its leaves. Leaves breathe in carbon dioxide from tiny pores, which are called stomata, which are on the underside of the leaf. The stomatas are like the windows in the room for plants, because it allows air to get in. And here comes the sun, one more important factor for photosynthesis. So, now we know plants need three things for photosynthesis: carbon dioxide, water, and sunlight. Now the process will start. Most of the action takes place in the leaves of the plant. If we cut a leaf and observe it under a microscope, we see that right below the outer layer of cells, there is a layer of soft, elongated cells called mesophyll cells. Inside the mesophyll cells, we see tiny nodes, which are called chloroplast. Chloroplast contains a special chemical called chlorophyll. It is chlorophyll which colors the leaves green. Chlorophyll absorbs red and blue light from the sunlight that falls on leaves. Therefore, the light reflected by the leaves is diminished in red and blue and appears green. When the light energy from the sun is captured by the chloroplast, it's stored in stalks called a granum, in which is the thylakoid membrane. In these membranes, the chemical reaction of photosynthesis takes place. So, remember, carbon dioxide plus water plus sun gives you glucose plus oxygen. The glucose, or sugar, is the food which the plant has made for itself and is distributed to all parts of the body. And oxygen is a waste gas, which the plants breathe out. People and animals use this very oxygen to breathe and continue living. We, in turn, exhale the carbon dioxide needed by plants, and the cycle continues.
So you can see that one is shorter but more complex. I wouldn't show that for another several lessons. As a matter of fact, I may give the link to the students ahead of time and say, if you'd like to watch this other video about photosynthesis, be my guest. You'll learn some new words and we can talk about it when you come tomorrow or next week.
Второе по счету видео, как вы заметили, оно более сложное, содержит более комплексную информацию о фотосинтезе и, соответственно, новые термины. Задача преподавателя – не давать это видео в качестве обязательного просмотра для школьников, но его рекомендацией может быть посмотреть это видео дома и обсудить, какие новые слова были школьниками выучены, и причем сделать это, скорее всего, на более поздних сроках, то есть через 2-3 недели после того, как они прошли тему.
So as a wrap-up to the lesson, the introductory lesson in photosynthesis, what would I have the students do to conclude? They've talked about what they've learned. As part of their portfolio, I would have them keep a reflective journal, and they can put down something that they learned that day in their own language. I would also ask them to think of 3 questions that were prompted by the lesson that they would like to know more about photosynthesis or plants. And this they would also do in their native language.
По завершению урока преподаватель, как обычно, задает школьникам задание в виде написания маленькой рефлексии на то, как прошел урок. То есть задача школьника будет заключаться в том, что они должны написать на своем родном языке или на русском, на казахском, написать, что они изъяли от урока, что они выучили нового, и также создать 3 вопроса, сформулировать их так, чтобы было понятно, чему школьники хотят научиться еще, о чем они хотят познать и получить более глубокие знания. И все эти задания они будут хранить у себя в портфолио, которое к концу учебного года будет собран преподавателем и оценен.
And just before we leave, 2 things. Assessment. How do we have the students who are at various levels of language do an assessment that is fair and is based on what has been taught? What I would probably do for this particular unit when we finish photosynthesis, I would probably have the students get together in pairs and say, your responsibility is to create a poster, and you can be as creative as you wish, to demonstrate your understanding of photosynthesis. You can do it any way you want, as long as it includes, and I would list the information. And students wouldn't have to do it just on a chart paper. They could create a leaf, they could do 3D, and they could label in English. For those who are more proficient in English, then I would say, and I would like you, Mayra, to present your poster to the class in English. Would you be willing to do that? I would talk to her outside of class. And then maybe a couple of students would say, can we just this once come up and have a video of our poster while we're pointing out the words that we know, that kind of thing, so you can adapt to the different levels. For parents, parents, of course, always want to know what their children are doing in school, and they want to see work coming home that their children are working on. I think this would be an excellent unit to create a big book in which students all contribute what they've learned about photosynthesis, what photosynthesis is. They can do labeling, and they put it together as a class book so that students can take turns bringing that home and talking to their parents about that.
Естественно, проблематичным для преподавателя является оценивание школьников, причем с разным уровнем английского языка. То есть, если кто-то свободно говорит на нем и может изъяснять свои мысли на английском, у кого-то это не получается. И для того, чтобы не дискриминировать последних, преподаватель предлагает в качестве задания создать постер. То есть не писать какое-то сочинение или письменное задание на тематику фотосинтеза, а сделать это в виде постера. То есть создать какие-то схемы, диаграммы, может быть, постеры в формате 3D, это зависит уже от фантазии школьников. Здесь требуется максимальное критическое их мышление, требуется их фантазия. Презентовать постер будут те, у кого язык английского языка более высокий. Причем преподаватель сначала должен согласовать с этим школьником вне занятий, будет ли он рад принять участие в презентации и быть презентующим.
So for parents, one of the ideas that the students can take home their words, much like we did those sentences, we can have a whole lot of sentences about photosynthesis cut up for each student in smaller card paper. Each student can take that home and they can put the sentences together so they can show their parents what they've learned about photosynthesis and about plants, and they can read that to the parents. The parents can actually see the progress they've made.
Мы знаем, что сегодня каждый родитель переживает за своего ребенка, особенно об его успеваемости в школе, поэтому, если подумать с точки зрения методологии преподавания со стороны учителя, здесь можно сделать следующее задание, то есть взять те артефакты, которые были созданы во время урока, да, мы видели, как они соединяли предложения, строили из словосочетаний. Эти же самые вырезки можно сделать в мини-форматик, и может быть дано такое задание, прийти, например, домой и соединить эти же самые предложения в своей тетради. И таким образом родители будут осведомлены о том, чем занимаются их школьники во время занятий биологией, и сами ученики закрепят материал еще раз.
On that note, unfortunately, we haven't had a chance to talk about individual scenarios, though we've mentioned it periodically. So I'm sorry that we're not going to be able to get your PhD Year 1 wisdom. That's the topic for another video, I think. But I want to thank you so much for participating today and thank our audience for listening. And the question that we leave with you, teachers, is what other kinds of activities would you engage in your classroom? How would you keep the students motivated and eager to learn, regardless of the level that they're at in their language or their content? Maybe that's something you'll have a discussion about.
Спасибо, уважаемые слушатели, за то, что были с нами. Мы хотим поблагодарить всю команду, которая приняла участие в записи этого видео. Но мы хотели бы оставить такой маленький вопрос учителям, которые сейчас смотрят на нас. Какие бы вы придумали занятия во время урока, чтобы вовлечь школьников в процесс, мотивировать их и сделать так, чтобы школьнику было интересно изучать с вами этот предмет. Подумайте над этим, и мы вас еще раз благодарим за ваше внимание. До скорого!